All right, good morning. Today is Thursday, March 26th. I'm going to go over a few announcements before I get into the content of today's lesson and activities. So, first and foremost, please make sure that your India geography activity from Tuesday and Wednesday is completed and turned in the Google Classroom. If you've had issues with that, please let me know in an email. Second thing, I encourage all of you check PowerSchool for any missing work and make sure that those get made up ASAP and turned back into your teachers. And then the third one, today's assignments should be completed today and submitted by 11:59 p.m. Of course, if you're up working and burning the midnight oil, it can be a little bit later than that. As always, I'm super flexible. I understand that this is a hard time for a lot of us. So if this is a problem, please let me know. Please email me. Let me know what's going on. Virtual meetings for 7th and 8th period students only will be today at 10:30 and at 1:30. And I will start my office hours next week. More information about that to come. So I want to recap what you should have been learning already through yesterday's activity. India is located on the southern tip of Asia, and it is really geographically diverse. There are many major rivers that run through the area, as well as plateaus, deserts, and mountain ranges. This map should look familiar. This is a labeled version of the map that you had to complete in yesterday's assignment. So you'll notice this is the whole of India, and you'll see everything from the Hindu Kush Mountains, the Himalayas, to the Ganges and Indus rivers, to the Deccan Plateau, and so on. So a very diverse geography. In taking a look at this map, you want to start thinking to yourself, where would make the most sense for people to settle? And I had a variety of answers on yesterday's assignment, but most of you came up with one of the rivers, and you were correct. So where did the early Indians settle? The earliest civilizations in India happened near the Indus River. So if you look back at that map, the Indus River is in the northwestern portion of India. So think about why people would want to settle there. And these are not new reasons. These are things we've talked about when we were in class together. The Indus provided a lot of things for the people. It provided fresh water, good fertile soil for farming, routes for trade and transportation, ample food and natural resources. And again, if you look back at that map, with the Hindu Kush and the Himalaya mountain range right up to the north, they were already well protected. So the river didn't really need to provide that for them. Those mountain ranges did. So they were very protected, and they formed near the Indus River. So on this map, you'll see where the earliest civilization settled. It is circled. You can see my lightning bolts. And there's two big cities that formed there that we'll start talking more about tomorrow, the cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro. But this is often called the Indus River Valley Civilization. So I want you to think those rivers were an important source of fresh water. However, they were not the only important source of water for the early Indians. Since the earliest civilizations formed in this part of the world, another important source of water has come from something called monsoons. So this activity, this lesson today, is designed to help you learn more about monsoons. So a monsoon is a seasonal wind that brings either moist or dry air to an area. So it's not necessarily like you'll be standing in India and be blown over by a wind. It's a wind that brings weather patterns. It brings warm, wet air or dry, cooler air typically into India. So to help you learn more about monsoons, the first thing you're going to do is click on the link that should bring you to a reading. This reading, you may listen to it being read to you by using those tools that we've used in class, or you could read through it. This has a lot of good information about what is a monsoon, what are monsoons like in the summertime, and what are they like in the winter. It's one page. When you are finished with that, you're then going to watch a video clip about monsoons. It's a short few-minute video clip. You can watch it straight from YouTube using the link at the bottom if you're having issues accessing it from the slideshow. Here is a map that shows monsoon patterns, which will make more sense to you once you've done the reading and once you've watched the video. So when you have finished with all of that, your final part to today's activity is to complete 2 different documents that are posted in the Google Classroom. They are both Google Drawings. They're both a combination of drag and drop and then answering some questions. Both need to be completed by the end of today and submitted. The first one is simply about monsoons. The second one is the effects of monsoons. So to show you what those look full screen, the first is going to look like this, and this one does require you to type out some answers. You're going to tell me what is a monsoon. You're going to drag the arrows onto the map of India, showing both the winter and the summer monsoons. Tell me what those brought, and then explain to me why monsoons are so important for life in India. To help you with this, again, you want to refer back to the video that you have watched and that reading that you should have gone through. Finally, you need to look at the effects of monsoons. You need to look at what happens when the monsoon season is just right. What about when it's too strong or too weak? And then drag the green boxes into the appropriate columns. Make sure that you pay attention to all of the directions and all of the definitions that are given to you on this document. So when you have finished both those, you will submit them into the Google Classroom so that I can take a look at them and offer feedback. Please take a look at any feedback that I'm offering in the Google Classroom. I do that for your benefit, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the Google Classroom for our final day of the week tomorrow.